Hey guys, it's me Manchuk. Welcome to my channel. As we all know, most employers are envisioning bringing back their employees to offices as companies implement returning to office plans. But amid different media and CEOs pushing people back to office buildings from their sweet homes has never been so risky, and the idea to implement old rules on employees who felt the freedom to work from their own place for at least 18 months is fragile and can break easily. Because on average, it takes more than 2 months before a new behavior becomes automatic, and it takes the same amount of time to break the habit forever. Because not all people are the same, and psychologists say that for a human to break an attachment, it may take up to 254 days. So returning to the office may not be an easy thing when companies and governments push the entire workforce to go back to the office again. So considering all those risks to employees who contribute to the well-being of companies, I would assume that pushing everyone back to the office is against mental health and against human health in general. There is also a whole new backlash happening now between employers and employees, and it doesn't matter what the company is. For example, last week, Apple CEO Tim Cook sent out a note to employees saying they would need to return to office on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays starting this fall. And most employees can work remotely twice a week, and they can work remotely for up to 2 weeks within a year pending their manager's approval. Apple employees, on their turn, quickly pushed back against returning to the office, sending their own letters stating their disagreement and as well as their feeling of not just unheard but at times actively ignored by the management. And while this return to office saga continues and nobody knows how it all ends up and where it's heading to, let's just wait and talk about this whole confrontation between employees and companies happening right now. And I'll share my opinion as an HR person of what I see is the best solution to this problem, and you will know it if you keep watching my video till the end. So while there appear to have lots of media articles saying that working at the office may be more beneficial for employees' morale and productivity, who may be very tired of working in their pajamas, many millennial employees are thinking to quit their corporate jobs for real. A Morning Consult survey conducted this May found that 39% of surveyed 1,000 people would consider quitting their jobs if their employers were not flexible about remote work moving forward. Among younger employees, this figure is even higher, 49% stating they will quit their jobs if not given an option to work remotely. Other service-providing platforms, websites such as Fiverr, Upwork, and FlexJobs have witnessed a massive influx of people seeking new jobs that will suit their new needs. And the gig economy is booming. Individuals now earn several times higher than when they work their regular corporate jobs. While more traditional companies such as Ford Motors, Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase have promised greater flexibility, many chief executives have publicly extolled the importance of being in offices, and some of top executives even publicly slammed remote work culture and the importance to stay physically present to boost teams' collaboration and endorse corporate culture for future generations. So while understanding what you want from your professional life in the end, I really need to say that it's incredibly important to hit the like button for the video to reach more hardworking, smart people who should watch this video too. Thanks a lot for your efforts and pressing the like button. Here is a picture of a Western honeybee which has been domesticated for honey production by humans. But even though honeybee doesn't realize it's being exploited, they do the work of their life, and for this, let's thank them for their work. Okay, let's go back to Apple. So Apple wants to implement a hybrid type of work and will have their employees return to office buildings 3 days a week with the option to work remotely twice a week starting September. And with insurmountable corporate generosity, they will add 2 weeks of work from home anywhere benefit. Sorry, Mr. Cook, but you confuse hybrid work with a college schedule, specifying in-office mandatory presence on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday on a company-wide basis and allowing 2 remote days based on manager's approval is not a hybrid type of work. Hybrid is when you work 5 days a week. You can choose which days you're gonna come to the office. It may be 2 or 3 times per week. And I would actually implement 1 day of mandatory presence in the office and make the most of this day. Plan your meetings, employee hangouts, celebrations, but let people choose the rest of the days. Or even better, not to impose anything mandatory, because people don't like obligations in any of its way and will complain even about a small obligation. What's this benefit that allows employees to work from home for up to 2 weeks per year to be closer to family and loved ones? This is not a bonus, this is not a retention strategy, this is actually a slap in the face after all collective efforts they have made for you when you needed them the most. Not to bankrupt your company and do the work even better, because we know that tech industry flourished during the pandemic, making respective employees work even more. And all these personal efforts from your employees, allowing them to work remotely for 2 weeks to change the scenery or be closer to their family, is an insult. If I was a manager, I also wouldn't be happy to put in that position to approve 2 days working from home each week. And this is gonna fail because managers don't want to be stuck in paperwork. And I guarantee you this, it will kill any hybrid system if implemented the way like Apple wants to do. Most good managers don't want to track employees. Most good managers are there to lead projects and empower people and improve performance. It is not a surprise they will start losing their best employees to competitors if they don't back off. Apple sees some benefits of such mandatory work days, such as helping to take the guesswork out of knowing when colleagues will be on site, to predict when resources such as janitorial and food services will be needed. Apple, if you want to take the guesswork out predicting how many employees show up in the office during the week, just implement a system that allows counting maximum amount of employees who can come to the office. Just as cinemas and music show organizers do it all the time for thousands of people to show up on a given day. For example, when an employee wants to go to the office, they can see the office space reservation and spaces available. It may be weird in the beginning, but we get used to it later, I promise you. The system doesn't need to be detailed as with reserving the tickets for a music show, but you see the idea that it's possible. It makes no sense when a tech giant of Apple's level doesn't know how to track office spaces, how to track employees' performance, how to provide food and sanitary measures. The only thing I see here, they're trying to find ethical ways to bring employees to fill in the multi-million campus called Apple Park that they have opened in 2017 that cost them $5 billion to construct. And also to tie employees to workstations located next to each other. And I don't see any point in specifically returning tech employees because Twitter, Facebook, and Square are already announced they will let their employees to work remotely forever if they choose to. And being a human resources professional for a decade, I completely understand the desire to bring back as many employees as possible, promising them interesting careers, more benefits, and perhaps physically deserved career promotions, because it's easier to promote someone when you have trust and at least know this employee better. But what I don't understand, I don't see the point, is when tech giants such as Google, Apple, and Microsoft stay firm to return their employees back to office buildings. If anything, the past year has proved that lots of work can be done from anywhere. It doesn't matter much if you work from your house basement or from the fanciest office building in Manhattan. Work is work. It's a legal exchange of someone's time, skills, and knowledge with the money you receive for it. And this can be absolutely done without lengthy commutes or crowded trains or highways. And some people have already moved to different cities to improve their living standards, and they realize they enjoy their new lifestyle so much that no company benefit can match that. Some employees want to return to the office and happy to be back, but some employees have worries and distrust about their security, and they have all the right to have this opinion. And it's their health and it's their life, and it's okay to be seriously hesitant to go back to the old system. And preparing the office for massive employee return seems crazy to me, because employees are still at some risk, and those with compromised immune systems and those who have family members who can be at risk factors should be allowed to decide for themselves. And therefore, CEOs and managers taking a hard stance on forcing their employees to return to office should beware, in particular because of labor shortage, because of the gig economy, and because of people are finding about new ways of how to earn money without going to work. Of course, not everyone has the flexibility to choose. Up to 30% of frontline US healthcare workers say they are now considering leaving the profession, with nurses standing at 43% as the most dissatisfied healthcare workers. And if you believe that the job should be paid based on the valuation, healthcare practitioners are right to want to quit their jobs because they feel they are not compensated properly for their time, for their skill, and also emotional hardship they were exposed to during the last 18 months. And because the same virus can have God knows how many variations, and we should expect the fourth wave anytime by the end of this year, making poor healthcare professionals cry out for help and finally making them quit faster. So if healthcare employees are quitting massively and the fourth wave of COVID is anticipated, what's the point of bringing the entire workforce back to cities and stimulating another outbreak even faster? And also, there are still raw procedures on how to implement corporate changes. For example, if an employee is not in the office, will that affect their career promotions and performance reviews, and how to calculate income taxes based on their new locations? Tech giants are historically been trendsetters. As you may know, Apple, Facebook, Google, and Amazon have built campuses to keep their employees at work for longer and thus happier. And I don't see a point in letting some part of their employees stay at home and preserve their happiness for free. And also, financial results from all tech employers proved again how increased remote working and living has elevated their profits, and this is of course expected to continue beyond COVID-19 pandemic, because we can't stop using technology. So what's the possible solution to save the workforce market from collapsing? As I see it, let employees choose where they want to be. Simple as that. It's just another industrial revolution. This is a tight job market, and otherwise you will lose them to your competitors who provide more inviting working conditions. People will still need interaction, and maybe one day they want to decide to spend more time together. There is no consensus on the optimal balance of work days at home and the office. It's not true when media is trying to sell you the idea that it's more beneficial to working from office than working from your own place. It's just not backed up by the data and not proven by time. Give it at least 5 years and we can speculate what's better, but not today. The only thing that I agree with is that the least experienced workers need the office the most. Those employees with less experience, up to 5 years, roughly, will need to go to the office more frequently than their more experienced colleagues. But for those who are quite experienced and established professionals with established work ethic and corporate culture and sense of belonging and loyalty and efficiency, it will not change. It may even grow. I'm actually so thankful to you guys who watched this video till the end. I really appreciate it. I wish you good luck in getting what you want, and make sure you hit the beautiful like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll try to post here 3 times per week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. and I'll do my best, but in any case, you will see my videos if you hit the notification bell. Write me anything in the comments and I will respond to it with pleasure. All the links are in the description for you to click. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.